Hey y'all, we're back. 2/3 of us are back. Shakira is out of town, so we'll just be doing this today, by just the two of us. But again, I'm Marquita.
And I'm Asia.
And we just wanted to invite you all into our little millennial marriage talk group discussion today. We have a few topics we want to discuss.
And again, like, just to bring you all full circle, we started this group just because we feel like, you know, there needs to be a platform for women to feel safe to talk about whatever it may be in their millennial marriage. We just kind of feel like the world is different, times are different, in the same way that our grandparents, you know, the world they were living in at the time is completely different, completely opposite with everything when it comes to education, finances, everything. Like, you cannot cultivate a marriage the way you had it back then. It's just not possible. Like, it's just not. Like, everything is totally different. So we just started this group so that we can be that light.
Yes, and I'm just going to put this on my page real quick. So y'all come on in. So one of the topics that we've been talking about a lot and that people have been discussing a lot is when you get married, exactly what is the foundation for your family. So of course, for me and my mom are very close. Me, my mom, and my sister, of course. So they are my family, right? So when I got married, they were primary. They were primary. But when you get married, your husband and your children become primary. So your mom and your brothers and sisters and your cousins, they're extended family. So your husband and your children, they are primary. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand. And even if you have stepchildren, I know a lot of marriages you get married and then you have your husband or your wife, whoever, have children outside of the two of you. Those kids and your husband now are primary. And your kids together are primary. So that's something that is very important that people really need to know. You cannot have your primary conversation with your mama no more. It has to be with your husband. We talked about a little about that last week about friends and all that stuff. So what you think about that?
I do agree with that. Some people, they do have their, like, my mom is my best friend or whatever, but you have to know that you have that type of mom that won't overstep their boundaries at the same time, because some people feel like they can tell their mom stuff or they can, you know, confide in their mom, then their mom is like causing mess. Right. So you don't want to be, you know, if you feel like you have a lot of things going on in your marriage, I don't feel like it's a good thing to tell your mom everything. And then another thing, my grandmother and my mother always said, don't tell me everything. Yeah. Because I'm going to feel the certain. So if you have that, if you know your mom gets very territorial over you and they can't let stuff go, don't tell your mom everything. I know you need somebody to vent to, and it's kind of hard to trust people these days if you don't feel like you have those friends. Yeah. But at the same time, just be careful, because they unintentionally hold grudges. It's personal. Yeah. You my baby. Yeah. So I'm going to be looking at him like, she told me what you did last weekend. So it's going to be that. So you have to be careful when you have those conversations. Of course, like you said, we both are very close to our mama. They really the BFF, right? Yeah. But you have to kind of be careful with too much conversation that you may have with your mom or whoever else that you talk to all the time, because you just want to make sure that, you know, you are still protecting your marriage with your husband, and making sure that those conversations that you may not agree with last week, you probably won't forget about it, girl. So be careful with what you tell people. You've been told, oh, he was this and he was that, and then now you like, what? I thought you said you was still mad. Well, I ain't mad no more. That goes for friends.
That goes for everybody.
Because I've been in a situation where somebody's friend would tell me something, and I get so invested into it, and then I get mad. I'm like, why you ain't? And then, you know.
And then the next 2 days later, yeah, girl, we back, we fine now. Like, girl, I'm mad with him still. What you talking about? I ain't got over it. Right, I'm still mad. Why you ain't mad? Yeah. So you do have to be careful with that. So so you definitely want to make sure that primary situation is in your household. That's just the bottom line. It's the same thing like we was talking about last week, or the 2 weeks ago. You just got to make sure that those primary conversations and things that go on in your household, unless you are finna pack up and leave and you sure that you done with the situation for sure, Then of course you want to involve other people that love you and that you care about and that you trust. But as far as like the decisions that you make, those decisions that you make need to come from your household, from your husband, and always make sure that your family, your inside home family are primary. Then of course your extended family, because I know how it is. It's easier said than done. We all love our extended family because you grew up with them, they all you know, but you got to make sure that you have that hat on saying, look, my mom and them, I love my mom and them, they are family, but God first, your husband and your children, and then that extended family. So,
or if you have, this is a good idea, if you have a friend that's not really close to your own family, or like you can have somebody that you can reach out to who's not biased. Like I feel like if you're not really like my cousin or my close family, I'm not a biased person.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna tell you what it is. I mean, I'm gonna tell you what it is, period. But when it's like people that's not my family, like I don't get invested. I'm gonna tell you what it is, and then I can be over with it. But if it's like my family, I feel some type of way.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good thing too. And just be careful because. I'm sorry, y'all. Kai peeking, but she peeking on the side, so it just made me laugh. But yeah, I truly believe like if you have somebody that you could talk to that's not connected to your husband or your family,
that's not biased. Yeah. Because sometimes you can have a biased person, they a little too close and too in depth into the relationship. Period. Like your mom or or his mom or whatever the situation is, and they're emotionally invested, they're personally invested because they love you. So it is gonna be, you need to do this, you need to do that, and that may not be the best decision that you need to make. So you do have to
and listen for people who giving you decisions and it's not the best decision. They're looking out for the other person.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're like, well, that's still my cousin.
Yeah. That's still my brother.
And be careful of that. Yeah, and be careful of that too. Confiding in your spouse's family.
Yes. Don't be careful.
Yeah, don't do that. I don't do that. Yeah. Like, and number one, I don't have anything to confide in them about. Let's be very clear. But I would never involve. I just wouldn't.
You have to be careful with that because of course they love you. For me personally, my husband's siblings, we've been together so long. They're in their 20s, so they were like little bitty kids, 11 and 12, 4 and 5 years old. The babies was 3 and 4 or 5 years old when we met. So it's of course they don't even know how that first part of us even went, right? So a lot of stuff they like, child, whatever, however y'all been doing it, they wouldn't care. But like for instance, if you close to the sister, for instance, you close to the sister. If you close to the sister, close to the first cousin, because if you from small cities, you probably more like cousins. Your cousins are more like your siblings. Be careful because guess what? Sis gonna say, well, girl, that's still my brother, so don't be talking all that stuff now. Be careful what you say. They gonna feel some kind of way. Like, yeah, because this fool and did such and such and such. She may agree a little bit, but if you go too far in depth into the conversation, she's going to be like, okay, now you're talking too much smack about my doggone brother or too much smack about my cousin. So you just gotta be careful with that.
But
so
what about the family members who feel like you don't tell them nothing? Like some people be feeling like you don't. Well, she don't talk, like they don't feel like you.
They're not supposed to be included in everything. Yeah. What you got to realize is that, like I said, going back to your husband and your children, they are the primary family. It's no shade or no distance from your brothers and sisters and all those other people that, of course, you love very much. But it's still, everything is not meant to be told. Unless it's a situation where you feel they need to be included. They just don't need to be included in every conversation. Right. It's not necessary. I mean, if you young, you just got married, which a lot of people do get married very young, but you still kind of want to be careful with the information that you're providing because things change. Your mind gonna change. You mad today, you're not mad tomorrow. Just be careful with that.
So, and that also brings to, like, we seen that post the other day that said, don't let your family mess up your family.
Yeah.
And so, I said I was going to talk about it, because I had some people, reach out to me in regards to that or whatever.
Yeah.
And, I just kind of feel like this is the family that you have created, that you have started, that you have procreated, that you've married, that's your family.
That is your family.
That's your number one family. Like, you have a family that you came from, but the marriage with the child that's your main family.
I mean, that's your family.
Right.
You have to be.
You don't let nobody from the outside, family, not family, friends. It don't matter. You don't let nobody take that away, because let me tell you, you can be going through something and then they going about their business. They going back home doing whatever, and they got y'all arguing.
And then when they get in their marriage and their relationship, you don't know nothing about what they got going on.
Right. Right. So don't let people ruin what you already have. And some people feel like because you're a family member or they should be involved, and that's not what it is. At the end of the day, do what's best for you and make sure that there is a boundary. You can't talk about him to me, and he can't talk like. It has to be.
You really have to be.
It has to be a boundary, and I also feel really strong with that, because I just know a lot of people who go through things where they have even with mother-in-laws and stuff. They just kind of feel like, oh, well, she's like the hawk, or she's overprotective, or she's clingy, or she's this, she's that. There still has to be a boundary there as well. Like, your wife comes first. This is what it is. Your wife, your child, then everybody else who come after. Your God first. We know that, but everybody else after that. But don't let family break up family, because they be going. You don't know what they're going through. They may be unhappy relationships.
And they may not be intentionally are wanting to break y'all up, but because of the things that they're going through, it's just coming out for them. They like their energy is not good. So and everybody you share your business with does not they don't have sometimes like you said, it's not intentional. But because they're going through their own thing, they'll tell you something that's negative, and you don't want anybody to put things in your head or make you feel a certain way, and then have you mad with your spouse about something that got nothing to do with
you. But it's because that's what they're going through. They put that, and that brings me to another thing where I don't like when people when people say oh, is marriage hard? You get all these people that's like, girl, it's hard. Is this? Is that? Like, why would you damage somebody's mental foundation of
just
their
like
marriage?
Having a baby, it's hard, but I can't tell you what my heart was. You just go through it.
Your heart may be not my heart, and my heart may be not your heart.
Yeah, it's the same.
It's the same thing. Like, I feel like labor was the easiest,
and I think it was the worst.
I feel like carrying a pregnancy was the hardest thing ever.
And mine always was just the easiest thing. So it's completely, you can't tell nobody how to expect anything with having babies, getting married. All that stuff is just, you have to be in it and you have to go through it. Marriage is not hard, it is work, and it's a work in progress. And I do feel like you have to keep working at it, but it's not something. My marriage is not going to be the same as yours. Your marriage is not going to be the same as mine, or anybody that's married now watching. It's just going to be a work in progress. So you have to just kind of go with the flow. These things that's just going to happen. That's probably not, hopefully, don't happen in mine. Hopefully, don't happen in yours. It's everybody's situation is different. So and
some people have certain triggers. Like, some people feel like they can't get through what you may be able to get through. Like, I'll give for example me. My whole thing is, as long as you don't cheat on me, and as long as you don't put your hands on me, we can get through anything. Anything. We can get through anything. But I will not put up with cheating, and I will not put up with physical, mental, or verbal abuse. Like, I'm not going to put up with that. Yeah. But that may be different for somebody else.
It may be different.
But I have to do what's best for me, because I know what I can handle. I know what my temper can handle, and I know what will cause me to miss out on my blessings, and I know what will cause me to walk around in because I'm, so some people, they can accept the cheating and be like, oh but it was only 2 times, it was only 3 times, whatever, however many times it is, they can accept that, because I guess they can deal with it differently. But see, I don't want to walk around holding grudges, and I know
I would.
Yeah, I would.
Then I wouldn't be able to deal with it. So beating me is not gonna work. Cheating on me, I ain't right. I'm gonna fight back, so we both gonna be in a mess. Cheating on me, that I cannot do it. I'm sorry, for me, I cannot do it. I cannot be involved in a relationship where I cannot trust you and you are doing things that you should not be doing, because I'm not doing it. So I feel like that's something I may not be able to forgive. I know that for me personally, I couldn't do it. But the cheating, the beating, and mentally abuse, I can't be bothered. Yeah, just love me like you want me to love you. And I'll trust you, and we should be able to trust each other. And I'm not saying that obviously it's couples that go through so much stuff, but unfortunately, like we said last time, we have gone through traumatic things within our marriages, but we have you go through it and you get over it. And when I say traumatic, I'm talking about death and stuff like that. So those things are very hard. To me, it's more in depth than the outside stuff that go on. So if you can deal with somebody's mental capacity of really dealing with things that losing people, then that's a whole different ballgame. Of course, we'll talk about that on another day. But those things are things that, like you said, those are things that we can get through.
Yeah.
But you beat me, no, I can't be bothered.
And you can't even expect nobody to love you at their full capacity if they're being cheated on, if they're being lied to, if they're being manipulated, if they're being verbally abused, they're being physically abused. You can't even expect a woman to love you to the fullest capacity that she can love you if all of that is going on. So,
because it's hard. You can't trust a person that's been verbally and physically abusing you. I don't care if the outside exterior may look like you're trusting them, but you really don't trust them, because at every moment you're going to be like, oh, I can't say this. I don't know, he gonna do this. That's too much. So, I think that one of the things that you really need to do in a relationship, you have to make sure that you have that balance of trusting each other and making sure that you care about each other enough to not do those things, especially all that hitting on folks and all. Because like I said, we'll both be locked up sentence, because it ain't gonna be like I'm just gonna be, oh no, it's gonna be a full-fledged.
You gotta know you've been in the fight.
Yeah, you gonna know. It ain't gonna be no, oh, she had a black eye, what was he looking like? His lip had to be bust, child, because there ain't no way you ain't gonna just be tapping on me. So we're gonna go into that a little bit deeper too. But it's a lot of things.
And that goes back to knowing who you're married to. Because a lot of men, like, they're weak at the heart. Like, you can't say, oh, I love an alpha female, but then you can't take her mouth. Like,
it's impossible. you don't love an alpha female. You actually don't want no parts of alpha female.
Yeah.
Because you won't be able to deal with some of the things that come out of their mouth. You won't be able to deal with the personality trait of kind of not being in control, but definitely having to say so in the whole decision making process. So you won't be able to deal with that. So a lot of men, unfortunately, a lot of people, not just men, because some women be crazy too. They have that exterior of being something else that they're not, but then when you get down the aisle with them, they're a whole different person.
Right.
So you definitely have to watch all of that.
Right.
You definitely have to watch all that. So I wanted to talk about trying to be in control. Like when a man is trying to court you. Listen, look, I'm old school now. When they're trying to court you, how do you feel about them not really putting a whole bunch into the dating process? Or we was talking about this the other day with the courtship process. Or I feel like you don't need to change them. So do you change them? Like, do you say, well, you need to do this, we could go this place, or no, just let them figure it out. And if you don't put in the effort, then you just don't need to be bothered.
I feel like your expectations should be there, because you can't get mad at somebody for not doing what you like.
Yeah.
If you don't voice it,
you have to voice it.
A lot of times we kind of feel like when you're dating, we feel like men are mind readers, and they're not.
They don't know.
Because I don't read minds. I'm very upfront, so I don't like for nobody to feel like I can read your mind. Like, you need to speak up, say what you need to say.
Right.
So I don't expect nobody to do that with me. So that's why I'm kind of, because I know how I like to be treated.
Yeah.
I know what I put out in the atmosphere, so I'll make sure that I will set the expectation.
Right.
And I think also when people are dating you and they get to know your parents and stuff like that, and they spend time with your father if you have one, I feel like that sets the standards and expectations, because that, I know it helped with Mario. Like, he spent a lot of time with my dad, so he already knew.
Right.
Like, it helped him learn me more.
So for me, my daddy wasn't there, but my husband has a good father. So when you think about how a man is supposed to treat you, like you said, if Mario spent the time with your dad, so he already knew this how you gonna treat my child. Yeah. And for instance, with my husband, my father-in-law, he treats his wife really well. He treats his daughters really well. So Neil has already had the exterior of saying this how the man is supposed to treat a woman. And so I think that is really, really a good thing, being able to sit down and say, okay, this is what you gonna do. This is how you gonna court my daughter. You gonna court. I don't feel like you need to be trying to make him do anything. But like you say, nobody can read minds. So if you feel like you want to do a movie or a dinner or something, and he ain't said nothing about it, tell him and see how it go. Now you gotta tell him every time.
Yeah, I do feel like the effort still needs to be there.
He needs to have the effort.
Yeah,
to at least try.
Like whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Like nah, bro, I don't want to go no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it shouldn't be like that. But I do feel like the effort has to be there, like where he at least, get himself together, smelling good, you know. Let me take you out so we can do something. They may have I give them 3 times where they run out of stuff to do.
Yeah.
Like, because especially, and this is another thing, I think, and this was with Mario as well, a woman that's used to a lot of things and that has been
spoiled.
I think that's where his whole thing was like, I don't know, like he was running out of stuff.
What else can I do? What else can I do?
Like I ate at all the restaurants in Atlanta. I've been with, like, nowhere you can take me. Yes, I think like
I think too. That's actually a good thing since you did, because by that time you already kind of really in your groove of what it is y'all doing or whatever. So I think that's a good thing. If you start running out of ideas, then he really has tried.
Yeah.
But if he's trying to figure out, then I mean, you can help him like once or twice, like you said, 3 times. And then after that, it's like, okay, bro.
But sometimes, courting is just the effort. Like,
it's just the effort.
It don't really have nothing to do with spending money.
Right, you don't even have to go nowhere.
Yeah, you don't.
Like, you literally, and not saying that in the beginning you need to be Netflix and chilling so quick. Now, be careful with that, too. But you can't, it's so many, especially here in Atlanta, it's so many things you can do for free.
Yeah.
And have the most romantic evening with your person, for free. Nothing you have to pay.
It's just like...
Or $6-7.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
like, it's simple.
movies.
Like, just spending time. Like, I think that's all.
Getting to know each other.
Yeah, that's what women really, that's what women really want.
Right.
And that'll bring me to also speaking about don't bring nothing to the table that you can't provide for yourself.
Oh, please don't.
So at the end of the day, I do feel like it's not about, I feel like when you're a grown woman, you want time, consistency, love. Those are the things you want. You don't really need a man to spend money on. I mean, I didn't, because ain't really nothing you can really do for me I ain't already did. Right. So I feel like
So I think going into that, you cannot have this idea that you want this man with an 800 credit score. He got him a brand new house already, brand new car, all these things, and you still staying with your mama. Your credit is in the 300s and you in a pickle yourself. No, ma'am. Yeah. You need to be able to come to the table with the same thing that you actually want him to come to the table with. If you think he got an 800, then you need to have close to it, or in it, or all the way through it. If you want him to have a brand new car or a brand new house, you have to have the same thing. You cannot have this idea of he need to be this perfect man, and you got your whole situation is not situated. Right. You have yourself in a mess, and you want him to have all these things, this laundry.
You want him to be
right. No. You need to be doing your own thing as well. You need to have your career already going, especially women that's over 30 and that's looking for these men, or really need to be looked for, not looking. But if you are in the hunt for a stable relationship, one of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of women have these laundry lists of, he need to have this, he need to have this, he need to have this, all this stuff that's not realistic. And
even if it is realistic, I'm gonna tell you the good thing, it's so much sweeter building with somebody than coming into something that somebody already has, because you don't want nobody to kind of feel like, I got this without you. Just like with the whole Kenya situation. For a man to say, I get all this back without you.
So the preview of Real Housewives of Atlanta, we'll watch it tonight now. I don't know when this episode gonna show. So in the preview, Kenya and her soon-to-be ex-husband or whatever they got going on, they having a conversation. He like, well, whatever it is, I just build it back up from the beginning. Oh, what?
Like, I don't get you.
What? You know what I'm saying? You going about your business, I'm gonna build this thing right back up. Now that's a problem.
That's a gut shot. For somebody to say that,
he already had that in his head from the day he met you.
I'd rather be with somebody that I can build with.
Right.
They will appreciate you so much more than for you to come in when they already got everything.
If they already got everything,
they don't need
trust me. They thinking in their head, I'll be able to build this right back up.
Yeah,
so go and take what you got to get. Yeah, it's okay. It was easy for me to get this. It's gonna be easy for me to get it again. And which it's nothing. So I don't know what the situation is. We ain't got that far in the season yet to know. But one of the craziest things is that a lot of people, not just me, a lot of women and men both think this way. Like, oh, we're not worried about it. So it is, to me, it's one of the most beautifulest things. It's a sacred thing.
Yeah.
When you can build from the ground up together. It's one of the things that I think that nobody even really think of until you're in it.
Yeah.
But when you can just build from jump together, and now
nobody can tear that down.
And it's not, oh, he came in with this, and so I came in with that. And there's nothing wrong with him coming in with his and you coming in with yours. You just need to You just need to make sure that you all both can coexist into that level of, okay, this is ours now and not just yours.
Yeah.
Because that whole process of thinking, well, if she was to leave, child,
and then you got to kind of, like, how does it go when it's time for you to have access to everything? And you know, like, that's kind of, people don't like having those type of conversations.
Yeah, and that's not right. I think that's wrong to be able to say, well, look, this is mine and that's yours, and I'll start over when it's time to start over. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. I think that's wrong. I don't like that at all. I'm interested in seeing how that whole little situation gonna play out on that.
So then the other thing was, you was talking about checking accounts.
So checking accounts. A lot of people have this idea that you don't need to share checking accounts. Now, I think it's okay to have your own personal checking account, you know, that you have your own little change in. But I do believe that as a couple, you need to have one checking account together.
Right.
I think that you need to be able to pull funds from that same checking account, pay bills, whatever the situation is.
Right.
Because how are you coexisting if he got money over there, you got money over here, and all this type of stuff? That don't make sense. Like, you need to have a checking account or an account where you both have your name on it. I feel like if you have an account that, and I know a lot of women do this, you got your own little purse they save, and he don't know nothing about this. And I'm not saying it's wrong to do it, but you need to make sure at least he have an idea about it. I mean, because Lord forbid if you all break up, then you like, oh, well, you already had $40,000 sitting in that account anyway. Well, but just in case, then I kind of feel like you putting that stigma out there that you're waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, just in case. Because if we break up, babe, I'm gonna have my money right here to the side. Y'all ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. That's right there. You already putting that foundation out there, which entails that you're thinking that something's gonna happen in your marriage or in your relationship.
Yeah.
It's not gonna last.
It's kind of like a man not really loving you all the way.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, well, I don't like really open up my heart. They don't really open up their heart to you because they kind of like,
they're scared.
Like, so as soon as something happened, then I ain't really opened up to her that much.
Right.
I'm good.
Right.
So it's kind of like the same thing when it comes to the money aspect.
Yeah.
I had someone ask me a question before about when it comes to, I guess, like moving in or something, and like how do they, I guess, like, say for instance they're doing 50-50 or whatever, how do they how do you split everything up and who pays what, blah blah blah. And so what she was saying, I forgot the question that she really asked me, but it was just basically about how do you ask a man to have an account with you? How do you have that conversation?
So that's a good, okay. So if you are living together before you're married, even when you're married, I believe that you, number one, need to have a budget. So if you have a budget and you know how much all of your household bills are going to be, whatever the situation is with your bills, and so you know how much money you need for that. So if you don't want to have all of your accounts intertwined with each other, why won't you just have an account so that this amount of money come out of your paycheck go into that account, this amount of money out of his paycheck go into that account, so that all of your bills are paid out of that bucket. So it's not, oh, you pay this week or he pay this. I think that's too much to try to keep up with.
Yeah.
If everything is coming out of that one account that y'all both got y'all name on, money is in that account so that you all are able to have the funds in there together, I think that's easier.
Yeah.
I think it's less stressful. Okay, you keep that budget. Like I said, having a budget is one of the best things you can do when you have a family. You need to have a budget. So if you have that budget, okay, check that stuff off your list. This how much everything costs. Of course, the light bill always fluctuate. So when you can kind of figure out like what are the things you need to have in that account, then that's the account you use. And then if you got another account, then you just use that. As long as y'all have that agreement, I think you should be fine with that.
Yeah, so that is a good idea. Like if y'all both have a combined account, you both have access to, and then you have your own account, your own savings. They have their own account, their own savings, and y'all main account has its own savings.
Right.
I do feel like let's say for instance you guys are helpmates and you are both helping pay bills. Let's say the bills all together are $1,000. I know that's not very realistic. Nowhere near mine. But let's say the bills are $1,000. I do feel like if it'll be easier if instead of having the conversation, allow each person to do direct deposit into that joint account. So $250 every 2 weeks into that joint account, that brings $1,000 in.
Right.
You both are doing $500 a month. That puts $1,000 in the account.
And
so all the bills that need to be paid come out of that account.
Right.
That way you still have your own money with your checkings, and he still have his own money with his checking, his savings and your savings. The account has its own savings as well. But you guys can decide how much you want to put in the savings. You know, I'm just talking about just paying bills. I think that would be easier versus having a conversation. Some people just don't like to talk about money.
People don't like to talk about money. It's one of the hardest conversations to have in any marriage. If you ever look anything up about marriage, having a financial conversation is one of the hardest conversations to have. It's very difficult for whatever reason. We all come from different backgrounds. Finance the way I feel about finances may not be the same way he feel about finances. So I think that's a good idea. Just have some money going into the account and it just comes out. So it'll be easier that way.
And it also cuts down of having to like I guess when the 2 weeks roll around, you know when they get paid or whatever, having to say, hey, can you put some money in the account? Or hey, can I have some? Or hey, can you?
If it's just automatically going in there, you good. Just automatically have it in there.
Just go ahead, like in the beginning of your relationship, set it up to where the direct deposits are both going into that joint account. And whoever does the billing or whatever, y'all pay bills from that main account. That way y'all not really worried about, you know, who's going to pay what. I paid this last week, you should have paid this. And it just kind of helps that situation. If you have one of those relationships where it's kind of, y'all don't like talking about money. I'm going to talk about it in mine.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I think it's you have to have the conversation. But if you just don't want to have the conversation, definitely.
Because sometimes people feel like when they have those conversations, it's stressful or it gets
because I think it can get tense and stressful because of the thought process of what money is and what I'm doing to bring my part of the money and what you're doing. I got this much and you only, so it's like a tug of war. So that's why I think it's so hard to have the conversation. But you gotta have it. If you gonna live with somebody, you gotta have it.
And I think what also helps with that one is it cuts down to who makes the most and who makes the less. If both people are equally putting in what covers the bills, then I feel like that doesn't leave room for
the gender roles mess. Who makes more, who makes less, all that foolishness. I think that goes out.
And you really can't, I don't feel like you should base anything off of that as well, is because things can happen. If your husband is a breadwinner, he can get hurt on the job.
That's true.
If you're the breadwinner, anything can happen. You can have a baby and can never go back to work. You can get paralyzed from having a baby. You can
mentally,
all type of stuff. So I don't feel like you should always base things off of who makes the most because life happens. You just never know.
You just never know. That should not be. Well, he only made this, but I make this. If you trying to be married and you know that this man is a compatible person for you, going off of him making less than you should not be an issue. Now that I've seen that a lot. Well, that's not right. I think you need to definitely not have that in your head. That men or women, whoever it is, you can always eventually make money. That's not the thing. If you feel like that person is compatible to you, like you said, anything can happen. You could be making 6 figures one year, the next year only making half of that because of something that didn't happen, or none of that. You know, life
or a company can shut down. Like it's so many things that can happen. So I don't feel like you should let that. Like I even seen a post that said men don't pay the bills like granddaddy used to pay bills back in the day. And
I don't want my man paying like granddaddy did.
Hold on. and it showed a shack. It showed a shack. It showed like this. It said because this is kind of when they talking about granddaddy
house.
Yeah, they said we're talking about granddad don't pay. I mean, a man don't pay bills like granddad's pay bills. This is the house they talking about. They showed this little bitty shack, and that is true. Like things were so much different back then.
Things were different back then.
Things
even with my grandparents, it's crazy because in church today we was pastor was talking about this, but me and my husband was talking about this earlier this morning about how different times is. So my granddaddy, he was a mason, not a mason. Oh Lord, brick mason, and he built so many houses. Majority of the houses that's in Blakely, Georgia, where my grandmother, grandfather, and my mom and family is from, he built majority of those houses. Like he did. But my grandmama still had a job. She still worked, and even the small time front time when they were up here in Atlanta in Bankhead, my granddaddy built those apartments still up there now that he built. But she was working at Piedmont.
Yeah,
still working. So I think for me, and that's probably why I always work. I don't feel like I need to be sitting in nobody's house taking care of nobody's children. Even I can't do it for me. But I think that whole process of granddaddy taking care of all the bills and all the things, like you said, the shack. I mean, they was going through obviously, and it was different times. But was he really like? How was he? What was he doing? Like, how was he doing it? I feel like some of the women that don't have no input on anything, they get left behind in the mindset that when granddaddy died, they were lost.
Yeah,
they didn't know what to do.
They didn't know what to do.
Like,
Now don't get me wrong. I also feel very good about people when men pay all the bills. Like it's both. I mean, but I don't want people to get married and get fixed on that stigma, because it's not like, you just never know what can happen. Or just say for instance, like, what about when you just be like, you know what, I'm like, what if you need to take a year break?
Right, you don't want to work.
Yeah, what if you be like, you know what,
I want to just take a break. I need a break. Yeah. And if you're able to do that, I think you should be able to do that. But I don't think it should be a thing where he just doing everything. Because even if you at home or whatever the situation is, you still can pay the bill. It may be his income, but you still can take care of the finances and the things that's going on in the house. I think that it's always good for everybody to know, for both of you to have an idea of what's going on, what bills need to be paid, what things coming out of the account, because that's the part where I think a lot of arguments happen in relationship when it comes down to finances. You don't know. I don't know what was supposed to be paid. Oh, he never told me about that. Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah. And
then you need to just be making sure anyway.
I think you should just be in the know.
You should just know
what goes on, what needs to be paid, I think
I don't see how you can go every day without knowing what's actually going on in your household, especially when it comes down to finances.
Yeah.
So I think that whole idea of granddaddy taking care of all the bills, and then when granddaddy died and he died and all this stuff, and grandmama didn't know how to take care of nothing. I still see it to a lot of our elderly people in the hospital. They really just be lost.
Right.
Like, you don't know how to do nothing? Why? You don't know nothing? That don't make sense.
And that may just be some people. Like, some people are very passive in their relationships, and they just kind of take the back seat to things. And then some people, they want to be all in the know. They want to know what's going on.
And I'm nosy. I need to know.
Nosy. I need to know what's going on. And some people, I don't know. Some people, that's their relationship. They don't know how much their husband makes, and their husband don't know how much they make. Whatever. That could never work. No. I know what goes in, comes out. I know which man. I know. I set up everything, like healthcare, dental care, whatever. So I don't know how that's possible. I wish I could give more. I don't know how to.
Because I guess you have like you said, you have a lot of women that are so passive, and they're just like, okay, whatever. He got. So what? Okay, this is a good thing. This is what helps you. Okay, what if things start to go south? No. You have no control of anything. Nothing. Once he walks away, you are done. You stuck. Screwed.
Yeah.
Royally.
What happens?
You are screwed, because it's so many times, so many women get into financial situations where they literally, even their own paycheck just go to directly, if they working, their own paycheck go directly into that account. Sister don't know nothing about nothing, right? All he doing is taking care of the bills, right? But then things go south. You don't know how to do your own stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know, when is the cell phone bill due? Oh, what about these lights? I literally know somebody now. And I hope she's not watching. But that it had literally went through this exact situation. Was married for 20 years. Okay, never had her hands in the financial stuff. She worked, he worked, but all the money he was taking care of everything. So she'd have her little allowance. Now getting a divorce, unfortunately, and she just lost financially. She don't have a clue of what's what. So that, and she's like starting over. And this, you 40 something years old.
And if you're not in it, you lose it. So
right.
just be the person that kind of handles everything. I mean, you do have somebody that handle everything, but
but you need to know. You need to share that. Even if he handled it, it's nothing wrong. Because I know a lot of men, they just financially know more, and then it's a lot of women that financially can say, okay, I know how to budget this.
But this is another thing, because Pastor Dollar speaks about this too. Knowing your place in a relationship. If you know this person is more like this person organized, let them deal with that. Right. And if you know you're the person that you a hustler, like I feel like everybody know your role. Because that helps you. Because if you know you're not more organized, you don't need to be dealing. No, because the lights probably will be off. Yeah, you forget. Because you'll forget. But if you know that, like you said, you know who's more responsible, who's more organized, who have a better idea of how the financial piece is supposed to go, you do have a better chance of just, let him handle or let her handle it. So if each of you have agreed to that, but you need to know what's going in and what's coming out. The knowledge base, you have to be. You got it. And that's another reason, and this is another thing, it's a little gem, that's another reason how women don't never know when their husband's taking care of a whole nother family. Girl. Because if you don't know what he making, you don't know what he bringing in, you don't know what's going out, he can do what he want to do. If he going on a whole cruise with a whole nother lady and your tail didn't know nothing about that, you need a big butt whooping. Because that's the problem. You got that financial stuff. You need to know what's going on now. Because that's a mess. Right. Because finances tell everything. Everything. Like when people are like, how you know your husband's cheating or something? If you got access to finances, you will know. If you know that he ain't took you to Roof and Chris as high as it is, but you see a Roof and Chris $200 bill, who you took? You know what you? So you gotta pay it now. If you don't pay attention, now that's what you need to pay attention to. You really don't have to have, honestly, you really don't have to have access to much. If you got access to the finances, there's nothing no one can hide from you. No. Because at the end of the day, you need your finances to do anything. You can't even need nobody else. You get to get a damn 99-cent cheeseburger. Like y'all see you with the Wendy's today. Yeah. You need your finances to go to the movies, to get gas. Yes. So if you're spending gas, extra gas on a monthly basis, you need your finances to pay it. Like when people are, oh, my husband had a whole nother cell phone. How, boo? Why? How he got a whole cell phone? You got the finances. Because if you was in the finances, you would know. That cell phone. You would know. Another bill being paid. That's the problem. So you need to be, if anything, you need to be in them finances to make sure that pay attention. That's the problem. You don't pay attention. You gotta pay attention. There ain't no way in the world my husband have a whole cell phone, be taking a whole broad to Jamaica. Yeah, right. Paying a whole nother mortgage. Girl, and taking care of children and everything. I don't know nothing. I know to the penny, the dollar. You have to make sure that you pay. If anything, and it's not about, oh, you just trying to be controlled. No, you need to understand it. The same thing with me. I wouldn't be able to go nowhere and do nothing. He would know. Well, what? I thought you said, say for instance, I'm on, like this week I'm on keto, right? Back on it, right? So if I'm on keto, but I went to Popeye and stood in that line for an hour to get me a chicken sandwich, he gonna see that. Because he gonna like, I thought you said you want to eat that this week. Well, how do you know? Because I said, you came out your account. That's $6.99. So you gotta pay attention. But those are just examples. But what we are saying, like, you don't have to monitor. You ain't gotta be like a hawk. But what I'm saying is, it will be a thought in a man's head before they ever try to do something. It should be damn near impossible for him to have a whole side woman. It'll be impossible because doing too much. You are involved in the finances. Yes, that's your finances tell everything about you. So they don't have to tell you nothing, really. You know. So yeah, you need to pay attention, girl. Don't be sleeping now. I'm telling you, don't be sleeping on that stuff, because them get some little bitty things. You like, okay, and then add it up. Okay, so pay attention to that. But what about women who want to know how to get that type of access? You should already have it. See, that's the problem. You, even if you're married, set the tone from the beginning. In the beginning. Yeah.
do not go into, just like we were saying last time about, oh, now you want to wear lashes every day, every night. You waking up with your face beat and all this stuff. You can't do that because you're not setting the proper tone. Now, if you going into your marriage not knowing about finances, you're supposed to have that conversation before. That's why I truly believe in premarital counseling. Me and my husband did it for at least a year and a half before we got married. We was in premarital counseling because of the fact that, number one, we was young. Number two, a tragic struck. So we did need that counseling, right? But at the same time, we was building into that whole knowledge base of each other and understanding that certain things just would make more sense if we know it now before we get into that. So if you don't know about the account and all this stuff, I know people that are just dating right now that know more about their boyfriend that they have been dating for 2 years than a woman that's been married for 20, 25 years don't know nothing about the finances. And that's a shame. That's a mess. Because you have to build that foundation and begin to set that tone from jump. Y'all dating, y'all getting serious, you kind of looking at maybe being married eventually or whatever. Because most times these days we don't have that conversation. That's before he even proposed or whatever. So.
And then like on the serious tip, like you just want to be involved because at the end of the day, like say if something happens or whatever and you don't have access to anything and you don't know about nothing, it's really not much you can do. And then on top of that, just say for instance, you want to make sure things are being paid. Let's say if you were to get into like a car accident or something and come to find out the insurance has lapsed. Like you want to be involved in those things. You want to make sure life insurance is taken care of, all that type of stuff because honestly, when people say they don't know, I fault them. I don't fault the man. I fault you
gave him the key to do it.
You have to be informed. Like
you gotta know.
I'm not gonna leave that much responsibility in somebody else's hand, especially if it has anything to do with my child. Like I need to always know that my child is well taken care of if something was to happen. So
and just like I always talk about being self-aware. Okay, you need to be marriage aware. So that's in your marriage. You need to be aware of what's going on in your marriage. So you need to know about yourself, of course. I always know about what's going on with you before you can do anything. That's before you get married. You need to be self-aware. But you really need to have that knowledge base of what's going on in your marriage. And if you sleeping and not paying attention to what's going on in your checking account, with your finances, don't know about no life insurance policy, beneficiary. It's so much stuff that you need to know. That it's just like baffling that a lot of women don't know who the beneficiary is. Why won't you know that? It's an unfortunate situation. It's a hard conversation to have. We all know that. But at the same time, you need to have those conversations.
And then you also have men, like when they first get married, those are a lot of things that they don't really pay attention to, or they may not have it checked. So you want to make sure that you are on those things and make sure that those things are taken care of, because men can be making really, really good money but not take care of that part of their finances. So
they even got some men, they be making so good from before they get married, and then their taxes is wrong because now you married, so you got you and your children and all this stuff, but their taxes wrong, so now you paying the government way more than you should be paying him. And so it's things that, like, those are the type of conversations that you have with your spouse. It's a lot of financial stuff that you really need to go through and go over. I think that the first thing starting off is having a budget. I think you need to have a budget, build that foundation.
What's that? I just play y'all.
Set the tone. I know you got it. Set the tone, and really, really, have an understanding of what's going on. But be sure to kind of don't have this idealization that you have to be this perfect person to be married, because marriage is not perfect. Nobody's perfect. You're not going to be perfect. He's not perfect. But you do need to have an understanding and going this thing 50-50. Not no 80-20. I don't like that thought process, 80-20. I don't like that. I like 50-50. I'm going to be 50%. You need to be 50%.
But even with you coming up with that also goes back to marrying somebody who's just mentally on the same level you're on. You're not having to really coach nobody to be on that same level. When you're getting married, you want to make sure the person feels the same way you feel about finances, about everything. That way it's not a tug of war.
And I think it's so crazy because when you have a conversation, so you're dating, you have these conversations, you need to have, by the second date, if y'all liking each other, y'all talk on the phone and fell asleep on the phone like you used to do in high school and all this foolishness, you need to start talking about what's your idea of finances. Because a lot of people, if you don't know, You don't know, but maybe it is something that you can kind of introduce them to. If you have those conversations early on, don't wait till 6-7 months later and you're like, girl, I mean, I went over there, the lights was off, and he can't keep his phone turned on because of things that he just not doing as far as his finances is concerned. Because everybody didn't grow up having this financial literacy that obviously I'm definitely instilling this in our kids. We're doing that big time now because the things that's going on now was not going on when we was growing up. So now it's different. Yeah. So a lot of men, they don't know. A lot of women either. So if you have those conversations starting off early, you'll be able to have that understanding so that when you do get married, okay, so this is how we're going to do this. It'll just be a better, not easy, but it'll definitely be a better situation if you go into it with that conversation.
And men take care of what they love. So if a man is being defiant about not wanting to do things, or my money is my money, your money is your money,
that's a red
that's
flag.
not good, because when somebody really truly loves you, they're going to take care of you.
Yes, and
that's
they're going to want to.
Yeah, they're going to want to. That's like with your child. Like with my child, like there's nothing.
It's no conversation.
It's not even a conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not even a thought.
Yeah.
So that's how it should be. That's how he should feel about you. It shouldn't even be a thought.
If it's not what's mine is yours, I don't know what to really say. I don't even know if I would want to coach somebody to. I would want you to already have that feeling.
It's true.
Like my husband, like he don't even it's not even. I don't even have to bring up anything to him about spending anything, because he'll be like, "Well, I know if you bought it, then obviously we need it, or something."
You wanted it.
He knows I use good judgment. Like I don't think I don't know.
It's not a question like, well, what
why
you do that?
Yeah, he's never questioned about
that.
Yeah, he's never done that ever.
Yeah, so that and
I'm not saying it's not a bad thing. I mean, maybe he should. He probably should. he probably should have questioned me. But
by the fifth or sixth Amazon box come up to the porch, depending on the situation. Now, but my husband, he like that too. He's like, well, you got another box today. Well, did I? I forgot what I ordered.
Yeah, just say you forgot what you ordered. Like, hey, just now sitting that.
Right. I love that. And my son is Jaden. I love my baby. He's so good. And I'm sure my husband will eventually watch this. He go ahead and put his mama's package in her closet. Ma, I put it in the closet for you. Thank you, boo. So I'm already coaching him. So when he get married, he gonna be like, yeah, don't try to play that on me. My mom used to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think for real, honestly, all jokes aside, you have to have those conversations. Having those financial conversations off. You should not be coaching nobody though. You shouldn't have to coach nobody to love you. You should not have to coach nobody to court you. You should not have to coach nobody to want to take care of you in a sense of not just financially, but emotionally, physically, mentally. You really should not have to have, well, this is what we need. This is how I need this to go. Because if you do, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. It should be authentic. The love should be authentic. You should come into the relationship loving each other, making sure that your husband making sure that you and the kids, both of you, are primary. Your extended family is your primary family, which was your mom and your sisters, your brothers, and your dad and them. They were primary before, but now they're extended family. So any decisions, that goes back to that. Any decision that's being made need to stay into that. And the conversations that you have need to stay within your household, especially when it comes down to finances. I think that definitely needs to stay. Because that can get twisted.
Mm-hmm. And then another thing it just crossed my mind was men who put too much, this should be a red flag too, men who put too much energy into what's a good way to say this, when they're trying to impress other people, like men who go too far into making sure, I don't know,
they look over there, they look,
but they not look. I think it's more about they just acting like they got somebody else to impress. Like, my husband's gonna always make sure we taking care of first.
Right.
And then he's gonna make sure he's good.
Right.
But you got some men like, no, I gotta do this, I gotta have this, I gotta do that. They're self-driven. They're making sure their self is taken care of first before the family, before the household. That should be a sign that something going on too, because when a man really loves you, he don't care about what nobody else think about what he have, what he got on. Like, he's gonna take care of himself, but what I'm saying is he's gonna make sure the family's taken care of first.
Yeah.
They don't have anybody in the streets to impress, because that's not who they living for.
Right, that's not
when you
primary.
living for the streets and when you living for other people and when you have other people to impress, that's your main priority.
Right.
You spending both of your money impressing other people.
That's
and
right.
trying to live up to
Going
their
out,
standards.
being out too long, all that stuff is really for them. It has nothing to do with your household and your family. It has nothing to do with y'all. It has everything to do with what you want to do. So that's selfishness for one.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be in a relationship with a selfish person. I think that for me personally, I have selfish ways. I was the only child for a long time with my mom. So of course I have selfish ways. But when I say selfish, I mean I don't want to share my chocolate chip cookies. I don't want to share my chocolate at all, really. So that's what I'm talking about with self. Well, I'm not talking about like you just let me do this first and then I'll worry about y'all. That's a problem. That's a huge red flag. When you get into a relationship where that man is all he worried about is him, or woman, and but then when it comes down to you and y'all, it's like, oh well, we'll do that later. I'm finna do this now. That's a red flag. That's a huge red flag. So you definitely need to be careful with that. That's not good whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it looks like somebody got a question.
I can't see it.
I can't see either, y'all. So hold on one second. Yes, Carmen said a lot of conversations you just got to put your big girl panties on for it. That's true. Big girl panties, y'all. Putting them big girl panties on. Make sure that you are making sure what you're going into before you get into it. You need to already have that self-awareness and self-knowledge and understanding, okay, this is what I'm finna do. This is how I want to do it. And I'm not saying back to the list, because I know a lot of women have lists. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have your list. It's okay to have your list.
Yeah, it is.
But you need to be mindful of majority of women that are in their, especially if you're in your 30s. Most men already have a child. Okay? If he got a baby, and if you plan on marrying him, or one or two baby, or three or four, or if he got four, depending on how long that situation was, but situations can happen. So if he have kids, guess what? You're marrying into that, so those are y'all kids.
Yeah.
You need to treat them as y'all children. You need to treat that as you all's family, whether you have kids or not. And if you have kids, he need to do the same, because that's what you would want.
Yeah.
If you got your kids and you going into a relationship, y'all have kids together, you want him to treat your kids like his, and you need to treat his kids the same way.
Right.
So you need the big girl panties. You know that's what it was when you got in it. You need to go ahead and go through it. You need to be already in it. So you got to be careful with that, because I know a lot of people have that idea that, oh, well, them ain't my kids. So girl, them is your kids. You decided to marry him. And he loves his children and he's there for his kids. And what woman would want to be with somebody that don't want to take care of their kids?
Right.
That's a red flag too.
Right.
If you got with a man that do not want to take care of his kids, and he got a situation with his children and all that stuff, that's a red flag.
Right.
You don't even want to put yourself in there, because he did the first wife or the first baby mama like that. Guess what? You're next.
And you can tell a lot about a person by how they treat their kids. If you really want to learn a man and understand a man, you have to watch how they treat their children.
Yes, watch. How
I think that's a good part of judgment.
Yeah.
Like if you're not a judgmental person like me, I'm not very judgmental. Yeah. But if I want to know more about a person, I watch how they treat their kids.
Yeah.
That's just because, you know why? Because at the end of the day, like that's your seed.
Right.
And how you treat your seed determines how you will treat me. So you can't love me.
No. If you don't even
love
your
own child. So if you're gonna date somebody with kids, I think when people say, well, I don't want him dealing with his kids and stuff like that, that's not who you want to be with.
If you're a man and you got a woman that don't deal with your kids, that's a problem for you.
Yeah.
You need to be thinking, you need to be using your cap and thinking, what's something wrong with her? Because I'm gonna take care of my kids. I'm gonna be with my kids. So if he's taking care of his child, you should never disrespect that
or hinder that relationship.
Right. You should really be in a situation where you are happy that he's taking care of his kids, happy that he wants to be with his kids, happy that he's putting his kids first, because you ain't even the wife yet.
Right.
So and even if you is the wife, if you the wife and you don't want this man taking care of his kids, you got a problem. Something wrong. That's not okay. Let him do what he need to do, because if y'all have kids and more forbid y'all break up, he's gonna do you the same way. You get that same energy. Whatever you dish, you gonna get it back. So you always remember that.
So where do we find these men? I was just telling my friend the other day. She was like, I just don't know where to go, like where to date, where to like. Every man in Atlanta is gay, or they married, they got a situation, or whatever.
Yeah. There's some really good men out there.
I always say, and I always push this. I always say to everybody, like, oh, try church or whatever. Like, yeah, that could be good, but I also say to do corporate balls, corporate walks, stuff like that. When men are invested into their, you know, their organization and stuff, those are really good places to find them. Even if you don't work for that organization, if you don't work for Emory or Piedmont, whatever, so go to the walk. And make sure you're looking good.
Right. Be cute. Even with your t-shirt on, you can still have that face beat.
Look good or whatever.
Find you a catch. Because everybody in Atlanta is not gay. It's not true.
Yeah, and everybody is not a cheater. Everybody don't have a situation going on, you know.
Or situationship.
Yeah.
It's a lot of good men that are looking for a good woman.
You just have to know where to find them, and you got to stop this whole social media, finding people on social media, online, or you know, at the club. I mean, come on.
That's not safe. You just have to kind of just definitely be careful with what you're doing and who you're doing it with. But you gotta just make sure that you are going to, like you said, going to these different events. There's so many events that are going on every single weekend. And it's a lot of good ones that are out there that are just reigning with single men and single beautiful women, black and black men or white and white women, I'm sure. But they're there. They're here. They're all over the place. And it's a man right now looking for you. Waiting on a woman just like you, trying to figure out, I wish I could find me a good woman. So I think it's just, you know, patience is definitely key.
Those men are normal. Like when, I think another thing is the reason why like corporate walks and corporate balls and stuff like that are all good is because those are the people who were just so into their education and they just was just so in the books, and now that they're in their mid-30s or late 30s, they got time to date because they've gotten all of the degrees. They're ready now. They're where they are in where they want to be in their career. I mean, of course, you're always trying to move up or you're growing, but at the same time, those people are ready to date because they've got all the anything between 19 and 28 out the way. They've gotten it out the way, so now they're looking for somebody. So those are really good places. I tell everybody that. And the people who have taken the advice, you know, they are engaged. Yeah, they married, babies and everything, and they are definitely appreciative of that advice because, you know, they're not really trying to figure somebody out or trying to be with somebody who's trying to still figure themselves out and figure themselves out financially and figure out, you know, they're mature.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
And that's mature. Really what it is.
And they didn't spend a whole bunch of time. That's
wasting time.
Wasting time. They didn't, you know, those people, they were in speed dating. They weren't doing that. That's because they were so focused on their education and their career. They didn't have time to be just dating a whole bunch of random people, you know? They were just so in the books and so trying to get to where they need to get to. So those people are just open arms, like, what's up? They don't have no kids either.
No kids. Ready. Ready.
Not saying that kids are a bad thing, but
no, they're not a bad thing.
Because sometimes situations just don't work out. And that don't mean you're a bad person. That don't mean the other partner is a bad person. Y'all may just did not click. But I don't like when people say there's nobody. Like
it's plenty. It's plenty of people. It really
and
is.
Even if they don't meet all of everything that's on your list, if you got a list of 10 things and they at least meet 6, you can work on the other.
You can work on it. I mean, the other things probably, you know, is just unrealistic. Some of your lists is maybe unrealistic, sis. I'm sorry. I hate to let you know. Some of your lists may be like, not if you over 35.
Like, say for instance, if he can afford to take care of all the bills, but then he can't afford for you to go shopping. Yeah, he can't afford for you to go shopping every week and buying $2,000 purses. I feel like he's still a good catch. That doesn't make him a bad catch.
Because if you cannot do the same for yourself, if you can't pay your bills and go shopping too, and get those Louboutins, whatever it is you're trying to buy, then you ain't bringing the same thing either. So you can't. Yeah, that's unrealistic.
But here's the good thing. he may not can't do all that, but what if y'all are married and he's still doing his part of taking care of everything that affords you and gives you those things that you still want to do, you're able to do it, but you're doing it with your money. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is still taken care of, but you have the access to do those things that still bring you pleasure. Yeah. You know? Because sometimes what bring me pleasure may not bring her pleasure. What may bring the next person pleasure. So like me, I like to travel. Certain people they like to buy the newest Louis Vuitton every 2 weeks. I mean, it's just different things. You know, I like me a good bag, but at the same time, I really love. That's my thing. I love to eat and I love to travel. Like that's my thing. So you can't really judge somebody who can't do it all. Like if they can do it all and just can't do all the extra stuff that you like to do, that's fine.
And guess what? That same man that you let go because
somebody else will be.
He gonna be married 6 months or a year later to a whole nother woman that was like, yes, boo, you checked everything off my list.
And then what's gonna piss you off is when he gives that other woman and he get a $40,000 increase on top of the 80 that he already making, and now she can do everything you wanted to do, but you missed out on your blessing because you was only looking at what he could do at the very moment.
I'm telling you, girl, you better let that man do his thing now. Don't be letting men go off and then you be like, oh man. He got married and everything. Look at this. You can't be hating, can't be mad because he's gonna marry you. But guess what? You can do right. So y'all and
God was trying to humble you, but because you were such in a rush,
you was in a rush. Because
you missed out.
Good things goes to those who wait. Yeah. So you gotta be sure of that. So yeah, be careful with those that laundry list of unrealistic expectations. I always reevaluate your list. Yeah, like I said, 6 out of 10 is good. 5 out of 10 is good, but 6 out of 10 is really good. So you got those other things that you can definitely just kind of check off. You can work on that later, like you said.
Or let's say for instance, it's a list of 10 and he only meets 4, but he's willing, right? Right. Willing.
Yeah, it's a lot of them that's not willing.
That he's willing to say, well, babe, we can work on those 6 together. I'm willing to work this thing out with you. Like, that's still good.
That's amazing. If he's willing to do anything, that's like a big deal. Anybody that is willing to modify themselves, not necessarily change, but modify some of the things that, okay, well, I could work on this. Okay, that's right. That makes sense. Because most times, some people, they just don't know. They just like, oh, you have to kind of tell them, okay, well, you're right, I can do that. So that's something that you just, like you said, do not miss out on your blessing thinking about unrealistic expectation, having this laundry list of foolishness because you don't even got it yourself. So I always just kind of go into things, look, this is what I need, this is what I want. And I think that a lot of women that are dating need to be dating for marriage. If you got the first conversation y'all have and he says, oh, well, I don't know if I'm ready for marriage yet. Next. Don't waste time. Don't waste time with these men.
Yeah, don't waste time trying to
change that one man because he's fine and you like him. No, girl, go on to the next one. Yeah. You got to waste a whole 2 years with this because he ain't gonna change his mind. Right. He's not gonna want to marry you in 2 years. He said he don't want to marry you or get married in the next year or two. Guess what? He's not going. That's not.
I really feel like you should respect that, though. Yeah, somebody who leads you on, then that's how you end up in those situations. Yeah. But a person that's honest and they're upfront with you, and they say, you know what, I'm not really ready for marriage. Like we can date and we can chill. We can, go hang out, whatever. I feel like when somebody is being honest and upfront with you, respect that.
Respect it. So
now, if feelings start to create over time and those things change, then cool. But what if you at the end of the day be like, well, now I don't want to get married, and then you want to get married?
That's right.
But I do feel like respect somebody that's being upfront with you, because
you know what? And I'm gonna tell this real quick. So I love WWE. Okay, used to really love it, but me and Jay didn't watch WWE. But anyway, so oh my God, why can't I think of his name? The real popular guy. I can't think of his name. Anyway, him and his girlfriend, she's a twin and she is Brie. She WWE too. She wanted this man to marry her so bad. I can't think of his name. He's like the popular one WWE guy now. So he finally break down and marry her and propose and everything. How about this heifer break up with him? I'm like, huh? And it's like you watching this outside looking in, like you been bad this man for 7 years because he didn't want to get remarried. He didn't want to do all of that. Finally, he says, you know what? Because it's you, I want to marry you, and now they broke up again. I mean, because of the fact that she begged him pretty much to marry, and then she don't want to be with me.
But also, didn't mean to cut you off. But also, it could be that sometimes when a woman is there, fully invested, ready, she wasn't ready to go. And then when you get ready, she ain't ready no more. She ain't like, I don't want to do it no more. Yeah. And sometimes that happens. Like a person can want something for so long, and damn near be begging you and crying you, and then when you finally do it, they ain't even interested no more. Yeah. Because they had to do too much to get what they want. Right. So now you suck all the fun out of being happy for. You can't even be happy about it no more because you don't went through too much to get it.
Yeah, I think that's what it was too for her.
Yeah, like
John Cena. That's his name. I love me some John Cena. John Cena and Brie, one of the twins. If y'all know what WWE, if y'all know anything about WWE, it's so crazy because that's exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. She literally was like, I want to get married, I want to have kids, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna change all this stuff. And then she's like, I don't want to be with you no more. She's like, I'm done with you. So yeah, you just have like your unrealistic expectations. Throw them out. Like those ones that the ones that you got probably at the top of your list. Those are probably the most unrealistic.
Oh, somebody said John Cena.
Thank you, John Cena. Yes, Vanessa. John Cena. I love me some John Cena. But so off that list, your top ones are probably at the top. You probably should move those real unrealistic ones down to the bottom. Put your ones that's pretty realistic at the top, and then kind of rearrange it, change it around. And I think you'll probably have a better chance at really checking some stuff off your list with some of these guys you're dating. So. I don't know. That's it.
Yeah. If y'all have any questions,
make sure y'all put y'all questions down. Did somebody? Okay. Make sure y'all put y'all questions down.
Y'all have a question that y'all want us to answer.
Did somebody say? If he cares, if he cares enough, that's right.
Will love up to those things. Yep, you're right.
That's right,
Carmen.
Yes. That's right.
So while we're waiting on questions, I just want y'all to understand that, I promise y'all, it's not hard. I know people make it seem hard, and y'all may hear things and see things, and it kind of turns you off from wanting to be married. But there's nothing like being married to your best friend, y'all. And that's the main reason why I really wanted to create this, because I just don't want people to feel like, oh, it's a waste of time, or I've heard married people make me not want to be married. Like, who y'all looking at? Like,
who y'all going off of?
Yeah, because. And then you know what? It may have a lot to do with social media too. Yeah. Because we do see a lot of
unrealistic relationships.
Yeah, all these cheating and having babies, and just like with the whole Rashida thing and stuff, like that stuff. I mean, it is real.
It is real.
But that's not what you have to put up with to be happy. Like, and if you put up with that, you're not happy. I don't care what you say. You can fake it for your mama, but you're not happy if you gotta put up with that. But at the end of the day, I want y'all to know, like, it's so possible, and it could be easy if both of y'all have the same, if y'all are on the same level, it could be so easy. And
you gotta be on the same page.
When you're friends, it just makes it so much better. Yeah. Like
starting off as friends, just kind of knowing each other.
I can't even be mad at my husband for a long time. No. Like before you got here, I was like, blow the porch off. Just leave. I'm blowing it off. I was like, you ain't doing it fast enough. I'm calling my kid on lunch. How far are you away? I was like, you're not 10 minutes. From how our house the leaves blows onto the porch, and it just looks so trashy, and I hate that. And so
it's hard to stay mad long when you friends. Yeah, you can't even keep a straight face. Like, I literally cannot keep a straight face. And now over the phone, I can kind of go long. But like, if it's like face-to-face arguments, within 10 minutes, I'm definitely gonna be laughing.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it's just.
And that's how you should look. Cause like even he was about to get in the shower, and I'm just like, I'm mad at you, right? And he was like, what? I ain't do nothing. I was just trying to watch the game and blow the porch. I said, yeah, but I wanted you to blow the porch off first, and then get back to what you was doing. And he was trying to set the game up outside and blow the porch off. And then that's another thing, being transparent. And like some people that once they have that little spat, it's like they don't talk anymore. Like I'll tell my, you piss me off, right? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like
why can't you have that conversation and say that I'm mad?
Yeah, say it.
Say it. I'm mad. You mad? Okay, let's talk about it.
But I promise you, they don't care.
They could care less. Most of the time, it's gonna be dumb stuff.
Yeah.
So, and which is good.
What if you have a man that hold that's another thing. If you have a man that holds grudges,
that's a problem.
That is a problem.
That's a problem.
That's a problem. I couldn't be with nobody that holds grudges. Like, I'm talking about, like, they just feminine.
Yeah.
But normally those are men who were raised by a lot of women too.
A lot of women, and I think a lot of men that have been raised by a lot of women, they do see stuff differently. Mm-hmm. So they may have that idea of you know, they kind of not feminine, but you know, they kind of got that whole little, you know, they kind of like their mama.
Right.
So that is a problem. You shouldn't be holding grudges. And I, you know, like I said, you definitely need to be careful with holding grudges anyway. And that's with anybody, but you definitely don't want to hold grudges too long with your husband. And especially over something stupid. Like small stuff, no. But if it's big stuff, then you need to make decisions. Not necessarily you need to go to counsel, whatever it is you need to do to get over that. Because holding grudges will destroy our relationship. And your children they can feel that. They feel that energy. You barely talking, they know. Yeah. They know that you barely talking. If you know, kind of don't touch me, they right there, they like, why they ain't touching each other? What's wrong with them? You know, they know. So all of that stuff is just things that you need to watch out for. Mm-hmm. You definitely need to watch out for. Or you
can, like, it's easier ways to say stuff like without, like, if you know your kids are around, it's because kids can pick up on energy.
Thank you, Terica. It's easy. What we're doing. Right. Thank you.
It's easier ways to get around that and make light of it.
Yes.
Like, there's been times, like, say for instance, if I'm just trying to think of something, like if I say if I ask Maria to sweep the steps, just an example or whatever, and then I'm like I don't know, like if you like, I need the steps swept before I get home because we have company or whatever, and then I get home if they're not swept, then like say if Kyle around, I'm like, no, because your daddy didn't sweep the steps. Like, it's certain things you can do so your child knows.
They know
it's something, but it's
don't
not.
Ask your dad.
Don't actually, like, it's different things you can do without keeping that tension. You know, like, it doesn't have to be that serious. You know,
don't let a little.
Because when you hold grudges and you're not talking and stuff like that, like, they feel that. Don't do that.
They feel
to me, that's a lighter way to get over things or to get past things. Just be like, ask your daddy, because he ain't sweep the steps. You know, and it's just, it puts it out there in the atmosphere. It's not too serious. Right. You know, it's not an argument. Right. So,
yeah,
you know.
That's true. Because they feel it. They already know. They know what's up. So on our next episode, Shakira will definitely be back.
Yeah.
She had to go out of town, so we missed her.
Yeah.
And so we'll definitely we got a lot of hot topics, y'all. So
we're just trying to like ease into them.
Yeah, ease into them, cause girl,
it's some deep.
Yeah, it's real deep stuff.
I feel like we should just talk about dating for a while and just, you know, testing the water. The beginning of the relationship, because it's some deep stuff that
y'all gonna be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So definitely any questions y'all have, any topics. Like I said, we have a laundry list of topics that we will be discussing within our discussion in our talk group.
Or if y'all see like memes and stuff and you want us to
post them on the page.
Yeah, post them on the page.
I
don't know if I have activated that yet. I may have, I'm not sure. But like, just send it to our little our inbox or whatever, and we'll discuss anything. I don't have a problem with discussing anything. I'll talk about anything. That's why the group of women that's with us, I feel like this is a good group.
So before we let y'all go, we are really friends. Like, we really like each other. We actually do like each other. It's crazy. Me and Shakira actually graduated high school together. Me and Age have been friends for some years now. We talk all the time. We always texting. Anything that's going on, we texting each other. We know about it. So it's not like we just met. Who that is? We actually. And
I found out she knew Shakira when.
Right, because you knew Shakira.
Yeah, I knew Shakira
didn't even know. Right.
Yeah, and then I found out she knew Shakira when I was working at Piedmont.
Right.
No, we were. I didn't know. We were just talking.
I'm like, what do you know Shakira? Yeah, I know Shakira. So we
actually even came up.
Either. Was it? I think
it might have been a picture or something.
Was it? I think maybe the boys were playing basketball together, baseball.
It might have been.
Anyway, because me and Shakira's sons actually have played sports together before, and I love Shakira's mother-in-law. We was hot. So it's just a lot of little things.
We're good. We're good.
We're real good.
And we don't. There's no safeness of not talking about something. Right. And I wanted people who can can feel like they can talk about something without being like, I can't really talk about it. Like, we are very transparent, and I don't want, and everybody who knows me, I keep it real. I'm gonna say what I gotta say.
100.
And that's what it is. And I feel like I can be like that with her and with Shakira. Some people can't, and I respect that, because some people can't talk about things. Some people are in those type of marriages where they really can't discuss.
They really can't discuss stuff.
My husband is the next room over. So like, there's nothing that I don't feel like I can't talk about. But I do appreciate these two women.
We love you.
They've been riding.
And we are so excited, y'all. Thank y'all so much. We have been getting so many positive feedback, comments, and just so many different things that people have been sharing with us. Anything y'all think, like I said, any questions y'all have and any suggestions of topics and stuff that y'all will eventually discuss. So many things. So we got y'all covered, trust. But
and we're trying to work, I don't know how to say this, but right now, bi-weekly works good for us. We all have different schedules. We both, between all of us, we have 7 kids.
Yes,
so,
a lot of people.
So I wish we could do it weekly, but right now we just can't. Like, we're just juggling our schedules all together. Y'all know my schedule crazy, Kyle's schedule crazy. She got, her kids are in sports and activities. Kira's kids are in sports and activities. So it's really a lot. And Sundays just work best, and bi-weekly works best right now. Maybe later, maybe,
eventually.
We'll be able to do weekly, but for right now, this is what we can do.
So like I said, we're so super excited. Please, like, comment, and share.
Yeah, share.
and go on to our YouTube page. We're gonna have our YouTube page in the description.
Oh well, I didn't put it.
We'll put it on the description so that y'all can go and subscribe to that. Of course, it'll be these videos, but definitely share those. Any like I said, any comments, please, leave it in the comment section. Thank you all so much for reviewing the videos and letting us talk to y'all. And this is fun. I love it.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, Jatilia, but you're welcome. She said, "Thank you, ladies, for doing this. I love it.
Thank you so much."
Or if y'all have, another thing is, we're gonna end it. If there's something you experience and you don't want even us to know, third person it, or or tell us,
or you can inbox it and just say, "This is something I would like for y'all to talk about." But please, anonymous. Not, of course, we won't use your name. We would never use your name unless you put it in the comment section. You say, "Please say my name," or whatever. We gonna do that. So definitely, it's stuff that people be going through that they don't want to openly discuss. And so, make sure, definitely inbox us and we'll definitely cover that stuff.
Yeah, we'll tell you how we feel, or if anybody has been through it, or somebody has been through it, we don't mind discussing.
And then, of course, y'all can always share y'all experiences too in the comments. So that other people can see, or on the page itself. So, make sure of that too.
Yeah, and again, there's nothing we will not discuss. If it needs to be discussed, we will talk about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of discussion.
So,
can't see what's in there. All right, y'all. We will see y'all later. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Terica. Chanisa. That's a pretty name.
Is it Chanessa or Chanessa?
Chanessa?
Well, like she can say, "Hey, y'all."
Right. I'm sorry if I can't stand for people to pronounce my name wrong. It's Marquita. All right. See y'all later. Bye.